So I have to make this video pretty quickly just because I have to get ready to go to my school's beauty pageant today. And when I say beauty pageant, it's kind of sort of a contest between a bunch of guys who sign up and who have to qualify. And it's kind of like a beauty pageant in that there's a talent portion, there's a dancing portion, and you know, there are judges that pick who is going to be the representative of the school. It's a silly thing, it's kind of a fun thing that we do, but I was thinking about it, and I guess the question that came to my mind was whether or not it's a sexist thing for my school to do, because if my school were to host a similar pageant for girls, there would be a lot of outcry because people would say that it objectifies women. But because it is only for guys, then it's okay. And this kind of, I guess, connects to what was brought up in my English class. So basically there's this girl in my class, and she, for a project, posed a hypothetical situation to us. And the hypothetical situation was basically that there's an all-male board of directors for some company. And they want to have a fundraiser for this charity that's completely unrelated to the company. So at a formal dinner with some of the other executives, not of the board of directors, but just the executives, there's a man on the board of directors is telling a story about how at the last company that he worked at, they were able to raise a lot of money for a charity by asking one of their female co-workers to jump in a pool, and they ended up raising a lot of money. So then the board of directors essentially then turns to one of the female executives at the table. It's unclear whether she's the only woman at the table or if there are other women at the table. But then they ask her how much money would need to be donated in order for her to jump in the pool. So that's the situation, and the girl who was giving the presentation asked us what we thought. And we kind of addressed it from different perspectives. An unbiased perspective, the perspective of the board of directors, and the perspective of the woman. And the discussion brought up a lot of different issues, like what would happen if she said no. I mean, because this board of directors has her entire corporate future in their hands, and if they didn't like her answer, they could always just fire her. But that assumes a lot of things about the board of directors. I mean, who is to say that they wouldn't just accept her no and move on, or maybe ask someone else? But what we kind of came to the conclusion, at least the conclusion that I came to, was that the fact that they would ask her to do this kind of thing, which is clearly sexual, at least in my opinion, that is a problem, because it's problematic that they, not necessarily that they just asked someone to do something silly for a fundraiser, but that they turn to the woman because they know that men would be willing to see that kind of thing. And the issue of whether or not the woman would be comfortable or would be willing to do it is a separate issue, and I think that there's nothing wrong with her not having any moral qualms about it at all. I mean, that's totally fine. But regardless, there's a very clear objectification of women. And yeah, I don't know. I guess the discussion brought up a lot of different and very interesting things. Like one of my close friends actually, went so far as to say, she prefaced her opinion by saying, I have a pretty middle view. I'm not a feminist because I think that feminism is anti-male. And that really bothered me, because I don't think feminism is anti-male. I think that feminism is just pro-equality. So in the hypothetical scenario, if the, I guess for me, because I guess I'm a feminist and I believe in equality, I think it would have been a much better approach for the entire hypothetical corporation to just put out a notice for the whole company, just saying, hey, we want to get some people to jump in the pool to raise money for charity. Would anyone be willing to do that? But the fact that they singled out a woman is really problematic for me. And then, of course, in the end, the twist of the whole thing was that the hypothetical situation was not actually hypothetical, and that this classmate of mine had taken an event that had occurred just a few weeks ago, and I don't know the specifics of what actually happened, but that's what she said. So, food for thought. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye.